are.
3, 2, 1. We are live with Lincoln Way TV crew here and USA Sports Preps, I should say Sports Preps USA, doing our fall media day. I know that this isn't your competition season, ladies, but I do appreciate you coming out this fall and talk a little bit about this year's season. We have head coach Nicole White. Why don't you talk a little bit about last year and then this year, what we got coming back and where we're at.
Last year we had a very good season. We stepped up our game a lot with our routine, and a lot of our team has come back, which is really great. We have a lot of sophomores this year again that were our freshmen last year. We have more seniors than we did last year. We have 5, and we're just ready to get the season started.
Ready to go. All right, excellent. You know, I see a lot of anxiety with you a little bit in that sense. Sometimes I know Coach Nicole White can be intense at some point. Cameron, why don't you tell us, what really gets Coach White excited about practice?
I would say when we push ourselves to be the best that we can. So like hitting stunts, throwing or tumbling, because we do have a lot of that this year. Insane amount. I just think that she wants the best for us. So like us hitting, us pumping each other up, talking to each other is like huge on her part.
Jenna, when you see Coach White and you're out there performing, can you tell us what you see when what she's doing?
Yeah, she's definitely nervous to like see us like how we're gonna do and like what we succeed. But when we're doing good, like it's so excited, and when I see it, I just get so much more pumped up and like want to finish it and have it do so good. And like even like if we're not like doing our best, like she still has like that confidence in us to like keep going, and like we're still gonna do the best that we can do.
Awesome. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Zyke here, since he's a chair dad as well. So he kind of knows the ins and outs. I think he wants to talk a little bit about pressure and that mental part that maybe some of our audience doesn't really realize what goes in with chair.
Yeah, it's sitting up here and kind of going through the whole schedule last year and the invites. And you have ups and downs. You have good routine. Sometimes you have some issues that you have to work through, but it's all about culture and how you build that within your team. You know, Peyton, how do you feel like going from last year to this year? Like, how do you feel things are right now? Just started. I know you've been going from the summer, but you just kind of starting to get into back to school here. How do you think things are going when it comes to that?
I feel like this year we're a lot more confident. Like each person is more confident in themselves and in the team compared to last year. So I feel like this year we're going to do a lot better with confidence and being able to like push ourselves and push each other.
Kendall, have you noticed any differences or anything from last year's squad to this year's team, kind of as you're starting to get going here?
Kind of going off what Peyton said, there's a lot more confidence on the mat and a lot more mat talk, which is really important for when we perform our routine. Hyping each other up, making sure that we're all trusting in each other, because that's really important to hit our stunts.
Yeah, Amelia being a part of it, exciting and kind of moving into this new year. How do you see the team doing right now? What is your favorite moment up to this point?
My favorite moment was probably doing vision boards at Liv's house. I like to express myself with like pictures and stuff, so I think that was really fun.
Okay, Jenna, what is your favorite team bonding? And Cameron will go right after that. What is your favorite, Jenna, we'll start with your favorite team bonding experience so far in cheer, or even from this summer to this point?
My favorite team bonding was probably camp, just because like we were able to all like be together and then do cheer at the same time, and like we were able to like talk to each other and then like spend the night with each other and like get ready for the next day to like get better for ourselves as a team, like getting closer in cheer aspect and in a fun aspect, which makes us better as a team all together.
I would say my favorite moment was probably when we got the house in Manhattan and we all stayed the night. You may have caused a little bit of trouble, but it was all fun and games. We had it was a lot of team bonding. We all bonded. We all stayed up till 3 a.m. just talking about cheer. It was just like a great get to know everybody so early on in the season.
Coach, could you, just kind of looking into your competition season, what do you you've had a lot of success, you've had a lot of different types of teams. What do you think going into this year, what are your expectations? What do you think this team needs, as you start to grow throughout these next few months to be ready to go for your competition season?
Oh, I would say just a lot of reps, doing things outside of just practice, because there's so many things we have to do inside of practice that I can't always get to everything. It is hard. The routines are more intense. The skills are harder, so getting to everything in one practice is a lot. So, I do tell them, you gotta get together with your groups outside, you gotta work on tumbling on your own. There's a lot of ins and outs that have to be done outside of just the practice. So I would say just the reps, and the more reps you do, the more confident you'll be. That's always the big thing that we try to preach throughout the whole year, every year. I mean, if you're not confident going into a routine, you're not gonna hit. So yes, things happen, they're human, it's part of life, but they're really good this year. And if they can do what needs to be done, they should be in the top.
So we kind of talked a little bit on that verbiage, hitting. So my first few years, that's about the only thing I knew about chair. But now I've grown to it, and I've become accustomed to the chair world, and I can appreciate all the hours that you put in. There's no doubt you do that, and now you can see that the team bonding is coming together. Now it's not each day it gets closer, it gets a little bit more pressure. With that said, talk a little bit about where we started as a program to where we are now, and I noticed one big thing was tumbling. So if you want to talk, Nicole, a little bit about from just last year to even this year where we're at with the tumbling portion.
I could say just in general, just from being here, I'm on my 10th year coaching here. I could say just in general, there's always been a lot of talent here at West, and there's always been a lot of tumbling. That's never been the case. It's just the confidence in throwing the skills, not just in tumbling, but also in stunting and throwing a routine that's hard to keep up with everybody else. But I will say the tumbling this year has definitely we've gotten a lot more. I think after last year, getting a taste of going to day 2 and just having the success we did with the routine, as hard as it was, knowing they were pushing themselves, I feel like a lot of girls worked over the summer to get better. So everyone will just have to wait and see. There's a lot of tumbling in the routine. So.
Absolutely.
What is so I'm going to put one of you on the spot here. Cameron, I think you'll be good at answering this question. If you were to give, after a practice or whatever, to give a speech to or talking with your team, what are some of the things you would say, especially to the younger girls that are coming up for varsity the first time? Like, when things go bad, what are some tools that you can use to help them get through those moments?
I feel like I preach a lot when I'm talking to the underclassmen to talk. Just because you're labeled as a freshman doesn't mean that you contribute to the team as a freshman. You can contribute in other ways as tumbling, but I always tell them to talk to each other, talk to your upperclassmen. There's not really, as a cheer team, we're not saying we're not grouped as freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors when it comes to competing on a mat. So their input is so important, especially with the 3 coming in. I always preach to get themselves out there. So I feel like depending on the practice, I just say talk to each other because that's so important, especially with hitting. But also have fun. It's definitely a challenging sport, and it does get really mental sometimes, especially with practice every day, competing every weekend. So I just say to have fun and don't let it. It's okay for, I said this yesterday, it's okay for nerves to get to you, but it's not okay to let it affect your technique. So I just say to trust yourselves and trust your teammates and trust that you're able to do your job correctly.
Kendall, have you had, when you were coming through varsity here, did you have, when things were going tough for you, maybe on the mat or other mat practice, was there anybody older that kind of said some things to you to help you out, like words of wisdom that you think you could pass on to, those new varsity cheerleaders this year?
One thing that was really big for me last year was pressure is a privilege. I am very new to cheer, and so competing in a team aspect was a very new thing to me, and trusting those other people on my team. And I was super, super nervous because I wasn't an individual athlete. I was a team, and so having that pressure and being able to use that privilege along with other people really helps me to understand how to use that pressure to make myself better and to push myself instead of crack under the pressure.
Okay, do you have any experiences as you were coming up through where you had an older, maybe a senior in the past that have helped you and you've used that experience and then maybe you can help younger cheerleaders also?
Yeah, it's like Coach White always says that like everyone's on varsity for a reason. Like you're not just like a freshman or a sophomore, junior, or senior. Like you're on the team for a reason. So you need to work as hard as you can and not crack under the pressure and just keep pushing yourself because it is a long season. So you really just need to like be confident in yourself and not like get under your like in your head or anything. So it's really just about like confidence and being able to push yourself.
Okay. Jenna, could you kind of, without revealing anything, right, when you told your routine or anything like that, but look at last year's routine and then to this year's routine. I know Coach already mentioned you have a lot more tumbling. But where do you think your team is, but what are your feelings personally on where you were at last year and this year as far as difficulty?
I'm really excited for this year because it is difficult, but like our difficulty is gonna make us go far. Like last year our team is so good, and we still got so far with that, and this year it's more difficult. So how much farther are we gonna get with that? Like that's what I'm excited about. It's a very fast-paced routine this year, so all our conditioning is just gonna like help us like get to the point of like where we want to go with like our stunts and our jumps, and I'm just excited because last year like we all worked together really well as a team with that routine, so I think it's gonna apply this year even better because it's practically mostly the same team, so I think we're gonna get really far with it, so I'm excited.
Okay.
Coach, so last year I believe you said that you get the routine around June or July, is that wrong? Is that right?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, is it possible to get it too soon, right? So like can a routine get like stale or your performances get like not as good as they would have been if you would have had it so long? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. No, because to be honest, throughout when we get it until competition season starts, there's times we actually don't work on it because we have homecoming or we have something going on or kids get sick, so we can't do certain things in the routine. There's stuff that goes on throughout the season before, especially during football season while we're cheering games, before we get to competitive season, where it literally takes 9 months until sectionals and state to get the routine we want. So it does take that long because the routines are hard, the skills are hard. Every step, they have to know that every step is the same, every count's the same, like all these things that go into it. So I get that, but I think with the way our sport is and how intense the routines are, June, July, August are like the times to get your routine.
My last question would be, I don't think you have, Gina, do you have a favorite song?
I do. I have two actually. They're by the same artist, and it's Rescue and You Say. For my freshman year, we had like a circle song, and we would all just lay down together, close our eyes, and hold pinkies, and we'd listen to the song. And the song really it really relates to cheer in a way, and it really hits you in a spot of how far you want to go and how much you've been through as a team, and it just really meant a lot to me. And that year, especially getting second at state, it still has such a strong impact on me till this day. And then You Say is also tells you all that you've been through and that you can do it, and how much like it means to you, and it really applies to like the sport, like an individual on the team and as a whole team like itself. So
I've always been impressed with the cheer program because the amount of time and effort and athleticism and ability is really it's impressive. On the other side of that, I think that a lot of you have talked about enjoying it and having fun doing that. I think that's a big part of it. So I'll start down here with Amelia and we'll go down the line. Like, what is your favorite part about being a cheerleader? Like, why do you want to be a part of this program? Like, what's your favorite part about it?
I think my favorite part is the people because they make you feel like at home and they're kind of just like a second family.
For me, it's the environment and like the second family that I get to come to like after like a bad day. Like it's kind of my escape from reality, and it's just my favorite part about my day. And I'm also a very competitive person, and I like to win. And like, it's a team sport and individual in like certain aspects, and like you can show that in certain ways. So that's my favorite part about it.
I would say my favorite part would be competing. Especially at state, you're almost trapped in this box because you can't see anything around you. So having that second family that they were saying just in the box, knowing that you are all that we have on the floor, like it's just us there. So it honestly feels like nobody's there and nobody's watching when there's a whole arena. So I would say just being on the mat and feeling like nobody else is able to like step foot on the mat. It's just like us solely there.
I'd say pretty similar. Definitely having that second family, like our theme is Ohana, and I feel like we really do put into that a lot. Like we are definitely a family. We definitely all trust each other and love each other. And like when we compete, we come up on the floor, we always like hype each other up and get to that point where it's like we all are confident in ourselves and each other when competing.
I would say mine's also like the team itself because I love how we're like a family and we're able to like push each other and all of us want to be here so we could all like work as hard as we can to hit at the end of the day, and just everyone wants to be there and everyone is motivated. So it's good to like go to practice and be with people that are as motivated as you.
Awesome. It's always interesting because you look at it, you all have to wear like two hats. You get this fall hat where you bring the energy of first day of school, getting the crowd going. And then it's all of a sudden it's like the over top. We got to switch the hat backwards, and now it's game time.
I don't know if they know what that is.
Yeah, they probably don't. That's probably past their time, but it's at least our time. But at the end of the day, I can always appreciate like where you start and where you finish is unbelievable. And I can remember that from the very first time being an athletic director, saying like, oh gosh, what are we doing? And then all of a sudden, Nicole, Coach White's telling me, don't worry, relax. It'll come together. And it does. And you've done that historically. You have very hard routines, and I've seen that. And then all of a sudden, it's like, my favorite word, you got to hit it. You just got to hit it. And you do. And you've done that. So we appreciate that. I'm grateful that you guys got to come here and do the fall one. I know your competitive season's later, but it does give a lot of excitement. You do a lot for our school as well, in the pep assemblies and leading. So keep up that leadership, all 5 of you. We appreciate that, and thanks for coming out for fall media.